Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 66th lesson of A Course in Miracles. And we have a treat, everyone. We have a treat this week. The 66th lesson of A Course in Miracles states, "My happiness and my function are one." My happiness and my function are one. And happiness is so appropriate because I'm so happy to have my close friend, psychic medium Linda Lee Hack, join us again to relay loving messages from Spirit. Linda and I decided to begin creating the space that we call Spirit Speaks. We'll be doing this every 1 to 2 months to have viewers receive messages from loved ones from the other side of the veil, and to ask questions of our angels and our guides and everything. In addition to being a psychic medium, Linda is also a spiritual counselor, an artist, an author, and a poet. She channels spirit guides, angels, and she also channels pets. So, and last but certainly not least, I'm very excited to share that Linda speaks the wonderful healing language called light language. So for those of us who grew up in the church, this language is commonly known as speaking in tongues. So Linda will be blessing us with this powerful light language at the end of the show. So hello, Linda, and welcome. And I'm so glad you have joined us. I'm sorry, I'm asking you to unmute.
There we go. All right, there I am. Thank you. Great introduction. Thank you. I didn't know I had so many things going on in my life.
Yes, and I am so excited to have everyone who has joined us as well. We have about 15 folks who have joined us to receive messages. So, Linda, I'm going to let you get started.
Okay. Latif had an uncle come in even before we got started here. So we're going to unmute him and let's see what kind of a question he has for his uncle, who has already popped in to say hello this morning.
Okay. All right. So, I find it funny because my uncle just transitioned, and usually baby spirits don't come in as quick as spirits have been transitioned for a long time. I'm just at awe that he came through a second time. I really am. And so I don't necessarily have a question for him, but I would like to know what what he has for me.
Okay, so number one, he's laughing at you, number one, and he says, "I'm no baby spirit, buddy. No baby spirit." So he says, I've been around this many, many, many times. I've been here, I've been there, I've been everywhere. And he's also reminding me that we covered some of that in our session. Yeah. So his advice to you today is he's telling me why he popped in is that he says you were given advice with Linda when you did your session with her last week. And some of that advice you're really not taking heed to. And he says, I'm here to reinforce the advice that she had given you on certain subjects, and you need to take them seriously. And he says, that's why I'm here. I'm here out of love, caring for you, and wanting to see you have the future that you're capable of having if you just take the steps that we shared with you. And that it's very, very important that you do that in order for you to be able to find what it is that you're looking for in this lifetime. And that's the message that he brought forward for you. And he's making me feel very, very emotional. So he feels very, very strong about it. He's hurting, almost like we as a human, we would say, like right now, it feels like he's squeezing my heart. Like my actual heart muscle is getting like a hug or a squeeze, so he's very serious about what he's saying. And he says that without going into detail, you know exactly what he's speaking about.
I know exactly what he's talking about. I already know what he's talking about. I know exactly what he's talking about in several different ways because he's
Yes.
talking about more than one thing.
Yes.
He's talking about more than one thing. And the thing is, Linda, is it's funny you tapped on that because ever since me and you had our session, right? I've been in limbo and I have not been able to really get it together. Even though you told me great things, I have not, I'm still trying to figure it out.
It takes a while. It does.
I'm
That's
trying to
pretty
adapt.
normal.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's telling me to tell you that the reason why you're having a difficult time is because you're letting the human side of your brain try to dictate what your
Spiritual.
intuition
Okay.
already, right. You're
That
letting your
that
human brain dictate what your intuition and the love is giving you, the information that it's giving you. You're letting your brain get in the way instead of just going with it and following through. He said, get your head out of the way. He says, that's one of the benefits of the light language is because we speak directly to the soul and your head can't get in the way. So he's telling me to remind you to listen to the light language that Linda sent you.
Linda, I love you. I appreciate you for saying that because you in our last session with my other cousin who passed away had
Mhm.
gave me instructions on listening to the light language for 11 days.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what time of day, and I only listened to it for about 3 to 4 days. And then I stopped and I'm like, I gotta do it again. So now my question is that can I start the process over again?
You can finish the process. There's no time. There's
Okay,
no time.
okay.
The reason that you were given the number 11 was because there's 11 levels of vibration in that language that came through. And each
Mm,
time you listen to it, your soul is receiving another level of that vibration.
got you.
And the
Okay.
cycle will be complete once you listen to it 11 times. And then you can listen as often as you want.
And then can I make you laugh again? As I listened to when I did listen to it, right? I did feel a different piece of healing as
Good.
I listened to it. So each time I listened to it, there was a different level of
That's what
healing.
you're getting. Yeah, because it's a
And
different vibration. Even though the
yeah,
sounds and the articulation of the words
yeah.
that are coming through are the same, you're receiving a different vibration to each one of them. Each time you listen
Okay.
to it, it's giving you a different vibration, a different level of vibration. And you'll need to receive all 11 levels. And once you do that, maybe things will be a little simpler for you. So that's what he's saying. Follow the instructions that you were given by me, meaning him, not me,
Yes.
but by him. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you
indeed.
so much,
Yes.
Latif. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes.
Linda, before we go, is there anyone else in the room that you're perceiving? Any other spirits in the room?
Yes, I have Boris here. Boris belongs to Dolores.
Okay.
And I channel Boris a lot for her all the time. So he's here and he's just dying to give her a love hug. He just wants to give her a love hug. And he's also saying how proud he is of her, what the things that she's accomplishing for her life, for he's calling independence in your new future. And how much love that he has for everything. Yes, he's giving you hugs. And he's talking about the stairway. I don't know what's going on with a stairway somewhere, but he's mentioning the stairway. Dolores, you might know something about a stairway. I don't know if you're working on a stairway. Trisha just popped in, or Tricia. I don't know what it is about a stairway, but he's bringing up a stairway. Do you know what he's talking about?
No, I'm not sure.
No? Okay.
I'm repairing my bathroom on the first level of the house.
Okay,
But
so there's more than one level in the house. So obviously
yes,
you have to use the staircase to travel from one level to the next.
yes.
Okay. So he's talking about the staircase. What's going on with the staircase there may be something you're unaware of with the staircase, kind of getting a feeling of caution there. So do you have things stacked up on the staircase? Are there
No,
items on the stairs when you walk up, like a pile of anything or cans or anything on the stair? Because I'm getting a feeling of caution with the staircase.
there is something on the stairs and I will move it, okay?
Yes,
To be
yes.
safe, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
because that's what I'm getting. I'm getting be cautious on the stairs.
Okay,
So
because I fell
yes.
several times. Yes. I fell down.
Okay.
Okay,
See how
thank
it
you.
works? Yeah. See how it works, guys? I have to keep it's like a puzzle that gives me something and I have to express it, even though I have no idea where they're coming from. And you guys have to put it together for me.
Thank
So
you.
he's very cautious. He's very caution about stairway. He doesn't want you falling. He does not
Yes.
want you falling. So make sure the stairway is clear of all things, that there's no water on it ever, that there's no packages on it, no cans, no nothing, no magazines,
Okay.
no nothing. And even the cat, he says, watch out for the cat. Because he's saying the cat runs up and down the stairs with you.
Yes, very often. And she's now here.
Yeah, so that's what he's saying. Be caution on the stairs, be caution on the cat. Yes. So okay. Shannon?
Yeah, I did.
Thank you.
While we had Dolores on, I didn't know if Dolores had a question. Did you have a question, Dolores, while we have you on?
I just got my answer.
Oh,
got
Thank you.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love
I just wanted to say, is there any message from Boris? But okay, there is.
Yes.
Thank you.
Dolores, he came in this morning. He came in like when I woke up this morning, I said, okay, all you spirits that know that loved ones are coming to this meeting, whoever wants to talk, please pop in. So he showed me himself this morning. It's like, I'm coming, I'll be there. So
Thank you very much.
you're
Love you.
welcome. I love you too, honey. We're gonna get together next week, I promise.
I'm looking forward to it. Mwah.
Things are calming down for me. So that's
Thank
good.
you.
You can do what I would like you to do, Dolores,
Yes.
is in the little notebook, put your website so that these lovely people will have an opportunity to experience your wonderful talent. She does the most
Oh,
wonderful light language and she does everything herself. She does all of her own work. She does all of her own music. She does everything herself. She mixes it together like what do you call those guys, spinners, that the DJ, like a DJ. And she just, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. So
thank you.
put that in the notebook so that they can look you up.
And
I can share my YouTube channel because I do not have a website.
Okay,
and
YouTube,
you
whatever
go
it is.
ahead,
Yes.
go ahead, Dolores, and share with the audience, everybody who will be looking at the video. Go ahead and share your YouTube address.
Okay, I will share it now in the chat so you can see.
Or just
Thank
speak it. Speak it. What's the name of it? So the folks know.
Dolores Amantia.
Okay. All right. Yeah, put it, yeah, right. Type it, put it in the chat.
Here
And what
is
I'll
here
do
is link.
I'll
Here is link, and you can see,
okay.
watch,
Oh,
yeah,
perfect. And I'll
listen,
put it in the
everything.
description box for everyone.
Thank you, Linda, very much, and thank you, Loretta, and everyone. It was really, really.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining. Linda, before we go, and I wanted to get to Shannon and then Laura because they have to maybe log off a little early.
Hi, Shannon. I haven't seen you for a while.
I know. I loved getting your emails. So I was like, yay, I'll do it.
When Loretta decided to do this with me, I was like, I can't say no. I can't say no. This is going to be fun. So what question you got for me, Shannon?
Gosh, I don't even know if I have a specific question, but
Grandma's here. Grandma's here.
I was just gonna say, if I was gonna ask for a picture, my grandmother's my point guard. So
yeah, she's here. Grandma's here. She's like, I'm here.
Oh yeah, my grandmother was a very big personality.
Yes, yes.
So I just quit my job, and we're out in the Southwest for a couple months before I start new stuff. So
I can barely hear you. I can barely hear you. Can you turn your volume up a little bit?
I said, I'm in this transition period. I've quit my job. We're hanging out in New Mexico and
I knew it was coming. We talked about that. Yeah.
So I finally did it. Yay. So I don't know, just any, I don't know that I have specific questions, but I'm kind of in this transition.
You're in limbo. She says you're in limbo.
I'm in wonderful limbo, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, yeah. She shows me kind of like a skateboard. You know, when the kids go on skateboard, the skateboard kind of goes tilts back and forth.
Right?
Yeah, that's kind of what she's showing me. She's showing you on this skateboard and your husband running behind you.
Yeah, he is.
So,
That is funny.
huh?
That's I get it. That's cute.
Yeah, that's what like he's trying to keep up with. In other words, she's giving me the sense and the feeling that right now, because of where you are, there's so many different things that you want to do, and there's so many things crossing your mind and crossing your mental mind and crossing your mental path that you don't know what direction to go in. So she's telling me to tell you to sit down, get your pen and your paper, and she says, make a list of priorities. And spirituality is your number one. She's saying that's like right up on top. And healing. So I know you were in the real estate kind of like corporate structure.
Right.
But I also know that you were also leaning more towards the holistic and healthy living, healthy life. And I'm pretty sure you've developed a lot of stuff in that area. But that's what she's saying. She wants you to make a list of priorities. And she says, then she wants you to pick out of those priorities and she wants you to focus on just one. Just one. Yep. She said, because you've got yourself all muddled up.
Yeah.
And she said, when you put your mind in such a muddled state, you're actually forcing yourself to stand still.
I get that. I know.
It's like standing in a mud
So
puddle.
many things that I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yeah, that's what she's saying. She said you've got yourself totally muddled up and you can't move. So that's what she wants you to do. She's advising you to sit down with your paper and okay. So you must like making lists, evidently.
Sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes
Or is it your husband that makes the list? Somebody makes the
he
list.
makes the list. Yeah.
Okay. Because that's what she's saying. Something about they like to make lists or somebody likes to make a list. Anyway, that's what she's saying. She wants you to start making a list of priorities and then zero in on one of those priorities. And you have to have a starting point. She's also saying that where you are now are many, many opportunities for you to expand in the spiritual elements that you want to go in. And she's also bringing music into it for some reason. I don't know if she's like talking about drum circles or spiritual gatherings or whatever, but she said you need to start looking into. I get a feeling you're going to be there for a while. I don't think you're going to leave there for a while.
We're here for a couple months.
Yeah. So get your feet wet there. Get your feet wet there and start experimenting with groups. That's what she's saying. Find yourself some different types of groups. It'll also help you find a direction that you're going to feel most comfortable. Yeah, she's talking about classes. I think she's talking about more physical classes, not Zoom type things, but where you'll actually be interacting with other human beings in person, which it seems like none of us do anymore. But yeah.
There's a lot here. It's a
there is
cool space.
Yes, and so she doesn't want you to she's using a funny word. She doesn't want you to
fritter it away. Fritter.
Yeah, she's like giving me that feeling like you're like stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she doesn't want you to be stuck. She wants you to get your I know she's bold. She says, I want you to get your butt out and start living in it.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that sounds like her, right? Yeah. She said, get your butt out and start doing something. But she's saying, start with your list and then concentrate and focus on what you got or what you want.
Cool.
Good things. She's telling me there are good things ahead of you, but you have to initiate them. It's just like we all do. We all have to initiate them. We all have to make them happen. We just can't have somebody come along and tell you what you should do. And then you just sit there and wait for it to land in your lap because it never happens. I tried that once. It didn't work. It's like, what's happening here? Nothing, So you got to make the effort. You got to get out.
Okay, well,
And you've got
this
so
is
much to
great.
give people. You've got so much to give people. So that's really great.
Well, this is such a cool, very special place, and so I do want to take advantage of what is here.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yay. Thank you so much, Shannon. And
Thank you, Loretta and Linda.
hi, Laura.
Hi everyone. Thank you for inviting me here. And thank you so much, Linda, for doing this. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
you're welcome. Yes, we can.
Okay. I have a question about my occupation. I'm a massage therapist and a Reiki master. And mainly right now, I'm offering massage therapy, but I want to transition into offering more energy work. And I don't know if the clientele where I'm at is going to be receptive enough for me to transition successfully into energy work at that location, or should I consider looking at a different location? And if so, which direction should I be going?
Okay, so I'm getting a yes as far as changing locations, and I'm getting a direction of south for some reason, but I don't know how far south that means. I don't know if you're talking about inner city where you're living right now, the south side of that city, or if they're actually thinking of having change your total location if as far as a state that's further south. Are you considering changing states?
No, I'm not
Okay.
considering changing states.
Okay,
No.
so it would be south of where you are now,
Mhm.
but also they're saying not to give up on where you are first.
Okay.
That oftentimes you're placed somewhere to bring in new experiences and to bring in new teachings. So you still have an opportunity where you are to bring that in. Now you work with other people. You're not the only therapist there, correct?
Well, I'm at a recreation center
Okay.
within a small city that's dedicated to the 55 plus population.
Yep.
There's other therapists at some of the other recreation centers, but I'm the only one at the recreation center.
Where you are now. Yeah. Yeah. So you have a grandmother here also.
Yeah, it shows up a lot.
Yeah. I feel it's maternal.
Yes.
Yeah. She's telling you going into the healing direction is really good for you because you are full of healing energy. You carry it with you. She makes me feel like you were a shaman in another life, in multiple lives, actually.
Oh.
And she's also make me feel that you had to have quite a few different experiences in this lifetime in order for it to start unfolding and opening up now. You know, sometimes we wonder why we don't do these things when we're younger, but I think it's basically because we have to have life experiences in order for us to really receive that we have and allow it to open up. We have to have those. We have to find ourselves or something. I don't know what we have to do, but the same thing happened with me too. So, but she's saying not to quite give up. She says you will be surprised. You need to talk more about the energy healing to the people there at the center, and you will be surprised how they respond to you.
Am I supposed to include the spiritual aspect of it?
Yes.
Or okay.
Not religion.
Not religion, no.
No, not religion. You have to make that distinction between spirituality and religion. Religion is something we're trained for and taught as children or society or whatever. Spirituality is something we come with. It's within us. It's part of us. So that's what you want to put your emphasis on is the spirituality. That wasn't the right word, but you guys know what I mean.
Right.
You want the spiritual part. You want to teach them that they have the ability to heal themselves
Right.
from the
Yeah.
spiritual aspect that lives within them. And like with me, oftentimes when I talk about spirituality, I talk about Christ. I talk about Jesus. I talk about Christ consciousness. In fact, that's where today when I do my light language is coming from Christ consciousness. They already told me that. So somehow or another, implement that. Just be gentle with your words. Read your clients very, very well because you don't want to frighten anybody, of course. But they're telling me that there are people there where you are now that are open to what you have to give them.
Okay.
They're also talking about your hands. Your hands are very warm. I'm asking, that's a question. Normally, do you carry a lot of heat in your hands?
Not that I noticed.
Well, start noticing when you're working with your clients, because
Uh-huh.
yeah, that's healing heat that you have in your hands. And that's one of the ways you can explain it to them. Like if you were to lay your hand against their bare skin, their neck, their face, whatever, and have them feel that heat that's coming from your hands. It's a way for you to say to them, this is the spirituality that lives within me and you that is healing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did I answer your question? Did we answer your question? Did they answer your question?
Yes, yes. One other thing. I'm interested in introducing the spiritual concepts through meditation. Would that be appropriate?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. And just remember when you're teaching meditation, what the first thing most all of us think about when you think about meditation is we have to go into a place where there's no sight or sound, and you have to let them know that's not true.
Okay.
In order for meditation to be successful, our minds still have to be working.
Right. Yeah.
To teach them, the best way that I found is to teach them how to have visions.
Yeah, I was going to do guided imagery meditations.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And make them realize that this is a meditation. Because
Right.
a lot of people panic. They're like, well, I can't quiet my mind. Meditation will never work for me. Right? So
Right.
yes, visual meditation is a great way to start with them. Also puts them in a very relaxed state, open state, and it allows them to receive messages from their own loved ones, guides and angels.
Okay.
And also listen to your intuition. She's pointing out that you don't listen to your intuition enough. Don't be afraid to speak what comes to your mind, because what's coming to your mind is just like what's happening to me. It's a message for the person you're with, not for you.
Okay. Okay.
And you can just, like I do, does that mean anything to you? You know, like you can say, uncle, does that mean anything to you? You know, if something just pops into your mind like that, just ask them if it means anything to them. You'll be surprised at some of the responses you're going to get.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Tricia.
So you got to unmute.
Oh, hi.
Oh, you
I'm
did.
sorry.
Okay.
Well, it's actually Cheryl. My phone was not connecting. It's Cheryl Lavard.
Oh, okay. Yes, I have your number.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect.
yeah, my phone was just giving me a hard time.
Oh,
Hi,
so
good
you got
morning,
somebody else's
everyone.
phone. Hello.
Yes. Hi. Lately, well, for the past year, I've been seeing a lot of numbers, but lately it's becoming more and more. I'm seeing it more and more, like
You're
sequential
awakening,
numbers.
woman.
Yeah, it started out with 911, then it started to go to 1010. Now it's like 333, 222, 307. It's like constant. And I just want to know, go ahead.
What you need to do is start looking them up. They're called angel numbers.
Okay.
So actually just go into your phone or your computer and write in angel number 307. So they're going to do two things. First, they'll tell you what your 3 means to you. in your walk, in your life, in this time. But it's a form of awakening. Like when I first started awakening, my first big thing was faces. Everywhere I looked, I could find faces in clothing, in wallpaper, in floors, in tiles, in sky, in grass. And I told my husband one day, we were riding in the car, and I said, David, I think I'm going crazy. He goes, what are you talking about? I just, I can't look at anything without seeing faces. Faces. I'd
Okay.
lay out on my back porch and look up on, I'd lay on my recliner and look up, and I could see all these faces, some of them baby faces, adult faces. So then Spirit says to me, and I didn't even understand Spirit at that point and what was going on, because I was just really coming to life spiritually, or I don't even know if that's probably not the right word, but coming to life, waking up. I thought, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing faces of people who have passed away and they're leaving. See, that's how I try to explain that. These people are leaving. They're leaving this form, right? But anyway, it's just it's with numbers. My oldest daughter, hers was numbers too. It was like, Mom, I'm going crazy everywhere I look. She says I can walk by the clock and it's always a triple number, or it's always a double
Yeah.
number, or right, or a
Yeah.
street sign. She says I won't be paying any attention to street signs, and I'll look up and it'll be 111th Street, and just stuff
Mhm.
like that. So that's all part of your awakening. And so what you need to do is you need to investigate those numbers when you see them and see what the message is that's coming through to you. And then it'll start making more sense.
Okay. And one more question. I'm always like, lately, dreams also. I've been
Mm.
dreaming, um, but I can't really, some of them like are confusing.
Mhm.
Um, like couple of days ago, I had a dream that somebody pulled me through a portal. I'm not,
Ooh.
yeah, it was really, I could not connect it to anything. It just felt like it was so confusing to me. And another dream I had, like I had a alien interaction. I saw the face and I was like, yeah, I don't know how to
You're
put it
like,
in
nah, I'm not
words.
going there. Just like, no, 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 no aliens. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know how to put it in words. I don't want to tell anybody because I sound like I'm crazy.
Oh, Dave,
So,
you know what? You cannot awaken without you feeling like you're going crazy. Because if you don't feel like you're going crazy, you're not really awakening. You're already awake.
okay,
So
okay,
you gotta feel like you're going crazy. Everybody, when they go through their awakening, all of these things start happening to them and they do feel crazy. Like I said to my husband, I think I'm going crazy. Every spiritual person that I've ever met while going through their awakening have said the same thing. In fact, I even know some of my friends ended up in institutions because they just couldn't cope. They got so much all at once that they couldn't cope. Their mind couldn't cope, you know. So it's part of the awakening process. And as far as your dreams go, what is being suggested to me, and I do have a guide here for you, just popped in. Um, wearing a grass skirt. So let me see if I can figure out where it's from. I'm getting a sense and feeling of Hawaii or the islands of some sort, islands, because I'm getting a grass skirt, and a grass skirt wouldn't take me to Africa, I don't think. Maybe it would, I don't know. But I'm getting more feeling of like the islands in Hawaii, you know? And so what is he saying? It's a guy wearing the grass skirt. He's saying, start writing down your dreams, even though they don't make sense. He said, and then eventually, he said, only write down, he says, only write down the things that stay in your mind, like feeling like you were being pulled through the porthole. And if there was no other thing going on around that, just leave it at that. And he says, as you continue to dream, if your dreams start getting more vivid and you're allowing your mind, you're allowing yourself to have these dreams and not be fearful. Because a lot of times when you have something like that, like when you saw the alien, you get fearful, so it kind of shuts it down. Yeah, it's like running away. It's like, going to look out a window when there's another face right there.
Yes.
So it's kind of, yeah. So he's saying, start writing this stuff down, but rest assured you're not going crazy, but you are getting in touch with all of the different lives that you've already lived. You're getting in touch with your higher selves. And each one of these are probably experiences that your soul has already had in other lifetimes that you've lived. And he's telling me also to tell you that you haven't lived just on Earth. You've lived in other worlds as well. So this alien that you saw could be a relative, could be a family member, could be a lover, could be a friend, could be anything. It's just that your mind of the human life right now wasn't quite prepared for what it was receiving. But that's the way you want to look at it, and that's the way you want to think about it.
May I add to
Okay.
that? May I add to that, Linda? That's what came to me as well.
Very good.
Is that it could be another lifetime you had as an extraterrestrial being. Many of us have extraterrestrial origins, and it's scary, right? Because they look different, but just pray that any beings that come to you are high in vibration. But yeah, I got that as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you
Okay.
waking up, girl.
Yeah, she's
Could I
waking up
say
and I'm sorry, go ahead.
could I say one thing?
Yep.
The name was, he told me his name too. His name was Savion.
Or the guide or the alien.
Yeah, I guess the alien. It just, yeah, when I met him and I was like kind of asking question in my mind, I was
Mhm.
like, "Who are you?" And he was like Savion. I'm like, okay, I'm done. Yeah, because I thought I was like making the stuff up.
No, you're not making it up, and that's one of your guides.
Oh,
That's what they just told me. That's Savion is one of your guides. That's somebody you can communicate and talk with and
okay.
ask questions of. Don't be frightful of it. And it's not coming from lower vibrations. It's coming from your soul. So, many times the guides that we have when we're in this lifetime now, this human lifetime, are they actually fractals of ourself, our own soul that have lived other lifetimes. And they're coming to communicate with you, like what she said, higher selves. And if your higher selves are coming to communicate with you, they're always coming from a loving place. Because you're carrying their soul that they've lived so many lifetimes and had all these wonderful experiences and bad experiences. But yeah, try not to be frightful at all and try to and embrace it. But like Loretta says to you, always make sure you put yourself in the light and make sure, because sometimes we can open up a portal we really don't want to open up. But in most cases, when you're awakening, you really don't have those fears. But it never hurts to protect yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
That was
much.
amazing.
Thank you.
We have a question from, it says iPhone.
Who is iPhone?
Yeah.
There she
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Hello, I'm Diane.
May I pin you or no? You want to be
Yep.
on camera?
Yeah, whatever you want.
Okay. All right.
Okay. My sister passed away 3.5 weeks ago after a 30-year illness with MS. It was a relief. It was a relief that she went.
She's saying she's free at last. She's free at last. She's saying, I'm free at last. She's crying. She's crying. She's crying, but she's crying. She's crying love cries.
She was paralyzed from the neck down the last 10 years. And
Yeah,
then
she's crying. Yep. She's saying she's free. I'm free. I'm free. All of me is free. And she's making me very emotional. She's so thankful. She's so thankful that she had the family that she did, that she had the support that she did. But I also get the feeling that there were some that weren't there that she expected to be there. Does that make sense?
This is a part of the question. There's a lot of hurt because my mother was quite cruel. I mean, just to say narcissism is such an overused word today, but when my sister was diagnosed at 25, my mother said, well, you don't have a husband, you don't have a family, what's the big deal? That pretty much is how she treated us, and the whole extended family, thinks my mother was a saint, and it's them not believing my brothers or my sister, and also a lot of hurt that the extended family turned their back. We have a lot of family between New York City and Ireland, a huge extended family that I did ask over the years, couldn't you just send a card, send some pictures, send flowers, you could Amazon a package. And honest to God, it's incredible that.
Yeah. She wants you to know that you have to let go of it.
That's what I was.
That's
okay.
what she's saying. She's saying you have to let go because this was my walk in life. This is what I chose for myself. I don't know how long you've been on, but this touched like Loretta says, this a lot of times it's a group thing. It's like the same subject keeps coming up, and she's saying you have to let go for yourself. She said, "This was my soul walk. This is what I chose to have this experience in this lifetime. You did too. You can't let what was be what will be. She wants you to let go." She says she's free. And that just means so much to her right now, to be a free spirit where she is now. And she's showing me walking in the garden of love. That's what she's calling it. I'm walking in the garden of love. All that's here for me right now is love. And she's saying, you're still in the human form. Don't let this strip you of what's ahead of you. You have to let go. And you have to forgive, because we all chose this together. We chose to have these experiences so that we can be where I am right now. And that's walking the valley of love. She says, so please, 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 please don't harbor. Don't allow it to spoil you any more than it already has. And you have to let go. Right now, she senses hate. You almost hate people for the way they treated her, and she wants you to let go. That's her most important message to you today, is to please, please let go. Move forward with your life. Don't let that ruin what you still have ahead.
Does this mean a total cutoff? Because I'm thinking that I can't really, a cutoff from the extended family, because all there is hurt.
Yeah. You have to do what is right for your soul, not for their souls, but what is right for your soul. If you decide, she's saying, if this is what you decide that you need to do in order for you to be free, like I am now, you do whatever it is you have to do. And that's also part of whatever decision you made is part of your soul's path. So it won't be the wrong decision. There is no wrong decision. The only wrong decision that we have as humans is not making a decision.
Okay, because I feel like a fool because the extended family thinks I'm a liar. I feel like
care not what they think. That's what she's saying. Care not what they think. You're allowing the humans, not the spirituality, to hurt you. You can't do that anymore. It doesn't make any difference what they think of you. It's what you think of yourself that's important. If you don't rely on them financially for any type of support whatsoever, and you can live your life, then you need to do that. You need to do that. If that means cutting all ties, you cut all ties.
Okay, and I have cut all ties with my mother, and of course, it looks bad. Like it looks bad to everyone. But I'm always worried about what everyone thinks.
And you have to stop that. The only thing that's important is what you think of you.
Okay.
And in order to be free, if you have to cut those ties and you have to turn your back on everybody, then that's what you do. Because you have to realize that what they think about you is their opinion of you, not your opinion of you. You know the choices that you made for yourself, you made for your sister, you made for your own life. They are criticizing you, and they are making decisions from their point of view, from their perspective, but you're not living their perspective. You're living your perspective, and yours is the only one that counts to your soul. It doesn't mean you shouldn't wish them love, just like we talked earlier. So always show them love, wish them love, pray for them, that way, but you do it from afar, not in the same room with them, not where you can subject yourself to continually be hurt over and over and over and over again. Because there is a human side of us that we can't let go, because we are human and we're supposed to have those experiences. So put you first. If this is what it takes, you have her blessings. She said, I will walk down every street with you by your side as you have walked with me.
That's
What is your sister's
beautiful.
name?
Monica.
Monica. Yes. So
She
just
passed-
call on her and always let her know that she'll always let you know she's there.
No, I know, I feel her. But sometimes I think this all can't be for waste, because it's been 30 years of, quite frankly, hell. And I would say mostly because of my mother involved, protecting my sister, and not effectively, because I couldn't even protect myself. 30 years and people not believing it, like, oh, well, she's a loving mother, she's Catholic, prayer group lady, she's, Diane's a liar. So I feel like it can't be for waste. So I feel like down the road, I would like to write a book or become a therapist or something to kind of show people what it's like to be in a nursing home long term for a young person. How even just sending flowers is a big deal. Like, I feel like, should I let go of
them? You should do it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Right. And if it helps one person, it was not
Right.
for naught. It was
Okay.
not for naught. Yeah.
And I
Even
would like to offer, I just wanted to offer that that impression that you received to write a book, that comes from your higher self. Listen to that. And as Linda is saying, always guard your vibration. I think sometimes in the spiritual community, we feel like we have to stay stuck in abusive relationships, but give yourself permission to do what it looks like for you to heal. And just as Linda was saying, even if that means from afar, every time you think of them, just send them love and light. Just say, I send you love and light, but you keep going. That doesn't mean you have to talk to them and engage, because self-love is the most important love, is love of self. And then you can extend that out to others.
Yep. And as far as a book goes, I think it's a wonderful idea. And as far as the narcissistic mother and how you say that everybody would see her in a different light, I have personal experience with that. My mom had 5 kids. I was number 4 of number 5. She treated me horribly. She would physically abuse me, mentally abuse me, not the other children. And my mother physically was a very beautiful woman. Every time she'd walk in the room, babies, animals, old people, everybody loved her. That she was the sweetest thing in the whole wide world. She was just a beautiful, beautiful person. So I understand 100% what you're saying. Other people saw somebody different. Now, the way we have to look at this, and the way I had to learn how to look at this, is that, and in doing all these sessions, when I first began doing these sessions and people would ask me questions, I would get images, because that's how I get most of my information, is through images of us sitting in a room with all these little beautiful gold balls sitting around this oval table. And in walks 2 very large light beings, and they're carrying a silver tray. And on that silver tray is set down in the middle of the table. And on the silver tray are all the experiences that we want to have in this new life that we're getting ready to come into. Okay. And this person with us, this other tall being with us, is our main guide, the one that's going to come and spend the entire time that we're here on earth with us or wherever we go. But on this tray are the experiences that we want to have. So our soul is sitting there. Now imagine your soul standing there with this tray of all these experiences that you just had with this family, okay? And they're sitting around the table, and your main guide is looking at you and going, I don't know, you're asking for an awful lot here. Are you sure you don't want to take some of this off the tray? These are a lot of experiences. Why do you need to have all of these at once, right, in this lifetime? Because I want to get closer to the light, and I want to have these experiences, and I want to learn from them so I can get closer to the light. Okay, fine. So now you have all these little balls around the table. Okay, who's going to be my dad? Who's going to be my sister? Who's going to be my brother? Who's going to be the sick one? Who's going to be the well one? Who's going to be this one? Who's going to be that? And all of these souls are volunteering. Do, 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 do. Well, the last one there is your mom, right? And your mom, and I actually learned this after the death of my mother. The one that was the hardest on you, the one that gave you the worst parts of this lifetime, is the one who loved you the most, because it was the hardest thing for them to agree to. Because you're talking about they are in soul. They are in soul. They are in love. All they know is love when they're in soul. They love you enough to give you that experience that you had with them. And I remember hearing my mother laying in bed at night crying after she had beat the living crap out of me for walking across the living room in the wrong direction. And I never understood. Well, after she passed away, I began to understand that she treated my siblings okay, but she wouldn't treat me okay. And she never understood why she didn't treat me okay. She didn't understand it, because this was an agreement she made while she was in soul, not an agreement while she was in a human form. And it wasn't until after she crossed over that she realized, this is what I asked for. These were the experiences I needed to have to become the person that I am today, to do the kind of work that I am now doing. So what that taught me was the one that accepted the hardest job I was asking to be done when I came onto this earth was the one who really loved me the most, because she was willing to give up everything to be that terrible person in my life, to teach me what it was that I came here to learn, that I wanted to learn, that my soul wanted to experience, so that I could do what I do today. So you have to look at it from that direction as well. And I learned how to love my mother after my mother passed away.
Yes,
And
that's
thank her.
Linda, I'm so glad you brought that up. That was actually something that was coming to me as well. Diane, this is something it's a very, very high perspective that Linda is sharing with you, and it's absolutely true. We forget the agreements we made on the other side, and I know in your mind you're thinking, there is no way I chose this. There is
yeah, exactly.
I chose this experience, but
yeah,
everything that she said is absolutely true. I encourage, this is why we're doing this. This is the intention of why we're doing this, because your question, your experience is going to help so many other people. So I would like to encourage everyone who is listening to this video to look up the children's parable written by Neil Donald Walsh. He is the author of Conversations with God, and it's called The Little Soul and the Sun.
I read it.
You read it. And so there you go. And so that is the concept of what we do on the other side. There is a certain part of you that wanted to have this experience. If you can integrate that belief, number one, it can help you separate the feelings of, hatred and resentment, because it brings that higher perspective. And once you do that, Diane, you will then step into the creative part of this process, which is why you're getting those impressions to write a book. You're absolutely right. It's not in vain. Everything is for a divine purpose. And so those tinglings, those inklings you're getting, that's from your soul to write and express to everyone the unique experience that you had. And I encourage you to do that. And it will be incredible. incredibly therapeutic for you as well. And
Yes.
so what Linda is sharing is, I was actually thinking that, but I didn't know if you'd be ready to hear it. But I'm so glad you shared that, Linda. Many times we've had people that we said, look, I want to know what it means to forgive. Can you give me an experience where I have to forgive? And it is the most loving spirits in our soul family that step forward and say, I'll do that for you. So that was.
You want to wear this to go do your walk?
I don't know who's unmuted, but I don't see anybody on. So yes, did Linda, did you have anything else? I would like to, Daryl, get ready. I would like to hear from you, Daryl.
Yeah. So I think, Diane, I think that it's a very, very, what I would say, a very, very hard nut to swallow, what I just said about your mom. And the healing is hard. I will tell you this. I tried desperately while my mom was still alive to try to forgive the things that happened. But I remember the final, when it finally, I thought I had forgiven her, because I learned how to tolerate it. I learned how to be around her. I learned how to hug her. I learned all those things. So to me, that was forgiveness. But then one day, my mom had dementia towards the end of her life, and she was sitting in a chair next to me, and there was a little table between us. And all of a sudden, I went over to her chair and I laid myself across her lap and cried. I cried like I had never cried before, or for a long time anyway, and was able to really, truly forgive her then and understand that at that point in time, I just chalked it up to, dementia type personality, because my mother had early onset dementia. Started when she was like in her 40s. But that was truly the day that I finally was able to forgive her. But I never understood what I was forgiving her for until she passed over and they showed me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful,
But that's a way to heal yourself, is to forgive and be thankful. Be thankful that she stepped up. Now, this book that you're going to write is going to touch the hearts of many, many, many lives. And that's why you have had the experiences that you've had. And that's why you asked for them. So now you have to finish the rest of your story.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you both very, very much. You've given me peace.
Yes.
Thank you.
We love you. Thank you
you.
for joining. If there's no other burning questions for Linda, I think now was a good time for her to share her wonderful light language.
Okay.
So any instructions, Linda, before you do the light?
There really isn't any instructions, but I do already know that this is coming from Christ consciousness. When I do my sessions, I do light language for my clients. I call you all my clients. I'm in your energy, and the light language that comes through for your soul. It comes through your energy field because I connect with your energy. And what this Christ consciousness, is not the same as it would be if you and I were having a session. And each time that I have a session with you, I have many clients that I have multiple sessions with. Each time the light language is a little different. Sometimes it's totally different because it depends on where you are in your own life at that moment and in your own energy field, what it is that you require and what you need. Shannon knows this because Shannon's got quite a few of my light language tapes. She's had several sessions, and her son and her father and her husband too. So this is coming from Christ consciousness, and this is coming to the collective, from the collective. So, and I can already feel this is going to be very, very strong. If you have the ability to tape it, if you want to tape it, you can tape it. So everybody just take a deep cleansing voice, breath, just a couple of them. Try to see if you feel the energy as you're taking that deep breath, feel energy coming into your vessel. Oftentimes it'll come in from your forehead, sometimes it'll, or crown, sometimes your forehead, sometimes it goes straight here. And me, it goes over my entire body. I feel it in my arms, my legs, my entire body. It's like I'm being taken over. Cái lý bang tổ ta đại đi bị khăn na cái bali hi han ba ko hi ha bị shama ni yam ba la e han na ho la ni ano ya e cái đi anda hala in go da himani ni anda hala le biato himi ana to ya na le vai Kilamanda hale bikudaradiata halamangoliasa imi amonia. Halebiata halabigiti adalamagudi shikana namianda halayi. Hamagridiata halamini and halabagoshkorema. Hamaridiata halaberia sokotokotana mayanda halabi. Haleata lalaya sakarimini and halabaguti. Hamaria shikodaraya and halabiata. Derehenda kolamaminianta halabakuto kabisiki hakisio mamayana maminia maho meria hameria pukoria la mahaidia so parirish kamanianda halabakutiata halabariasa amokuto he pohe amanea he hameanto kohuma he manianda halahu he manianda halabakudi hasaka balabagandea Hamelia Shatariata Halabeota Nemanda Halabigoto Hamaria Cariasa Malo Hamariata Halabakushikapati Adamba tu Veda in the mind Teribaganda Halebu Habegishikapahanda Hai Amayanda Otogo Barsa Habagasi Beshikote beyanda de beha. Mind the baby will see Atahabakale beyond Alabakusiata. Hebe Eshokopa and Bari. Alamahanukushada by and die. Bokdiata Alabakudiata Alabakusianda. Apakesikotani Anamakaya Alabakusiata. Haribiasa Kodamang the Halabakudanda. Aparihi Hushomana Mami and the Haladiata Halabakusianta. Lahiata Labakutiata Labayata. Mayan Dokoshi. Amagadiata halabakotoku. Abadidia sahnamaya. Periana halabekuri. Kaet. Halabeguriata halabakudianta sapia. A caridia sakotokopa. Abadianta halabaka. Ekeriata halabakutishaka. Eberianta halabikutuo. Abadianta halabikihita. A korea sahana mekata. Abadidiata halabukutianda. Ekaria sokotitianda. Aparidiasa andahedi. Makayausan. Amayaka, Hebariaka, Aleku. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Did anybody have any impressions, any sensations, real quick? If you did anybody have any sensations or feel anything during Linda's light language?
I had sensations, just kind of little tingles, like in my leg and my hands, and just moved around a little.
The energy, feeling the energy moving around inside of you. One of the things that there towards the end, I know you guys can't see me, but he's got me doing this right here really hard. And my heart was just really, really big. And I felt as though he was saying, everybody needs to get back into their heart. We need humanity to get back into their heart. We live so many times on the outside of our heart instead of inside of our heart. And that's what we need. We need to go back into our heart. All things are there waiting for us. Question all things. Talk to yourself. Talk to your higher selves. Take notes for your higher selves. Ask your higher self questions. And I know this works because I do it. You sit down with your pen and your paper, start asking your higher selves questions. And that you will get your answers. You will get your answers. Thank you guys all for joining us. And I look forward to us doing this again.
Yes, thank you so much. And before we close out, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who joined us today for this dynamic time with Linda. We'll be doing this every couple months, every 2 to 3 months. We advertise it on Facebook. If you would like to participate in this amazing healing event called Spirit Speaks, email us, and I'll have that email address in the description box, and we'll send you the registration links to participate in our next offering. This was an incredible opportunity, as you can see, and we will continue to do this as we have the intention of healing. And thank you for joining. And as we always close our sessions with a heart, we love you all. Thank you, everyone who listened to this. And awesome. I feel like we've been to church. I love it when I go to church. Love y'all.
Love you. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I look forward to doing it again.
Me too. Me too. All right.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.